side is Dewey. I'm going to use you. Who's got a question that they're running into no-gi stuff particularly?
I got a question. Who want this one?
Whatever you want, Coach. If I wanted to get in half the fight, I'd box, but here we are.
That's awesome. So normally I can roll out of an armbar. Let's say I'm going against somebody really good. Somehow they might kind of pin me to where I can't roll out of it. I'm just curious if you had any insight on that.
So, just to make sure I'm hearing you right. So we're in an arm bar.
Yeah.
Boom, we get to here, right?
Right.
Our life we have fucked up, but generally we can like roll, right?
Right.
So that's generally called a hitchhiker.
Generally.
You have that option, and you have like a slide out option this way where you can walk. Those are both good armbar escapes. Problem is, those are the two most basic armbar escapes. So what you're running into is, like most things in jiu-jitsu, it's the counter to the counter till someone dies. It's all jiu-jitsu is. If you're wondering like, man, how does jiu-jitsu eventually end? It's somebody does something, and then it's counter to the counter till one of you dies. So when we're here, what's generally happening when you're getting stopped here is not like they're going to either start pinching their feet here and pulling your chest in. So like what I'll do is I will actually just pinch and pull my feet. I don't even have to use my hands at this point. And it stops a lot of that walking away.
Right.
Still may be able to get some other options in. But for the most part, if I can pinch my knees here, I'm still going to finish the arm bar. So a couple other things you can work on as far as escaping the arm bar, right?
Right.
So one of my favorite ways is obviously early detection in most things in life is going to make your life easier. So the second I realized that Dewey's going for an arm bar, first thing I'm going to do is put the arm bar hand into my bicep. This hand is then going to try to get under his knee or thigh here. If I catch it early, most of you will have felt this, where I get to right here, and then your life is really inconvenient trying to finish this arm bar because my arm's tucked, it's reinforced, and I'm tight here. I then pull my arms to my chest, Dewey can pull all he wants, but I'm in here, you know, pretty secure. At that point, I can then start walking and using this hand to frame, get my elbow out, escaping, doing what I need to do here. That is my best arm bar escape. Like if you're wondering like, oh, what's the best one? What's the easiest one? Here's the reason why I like that one. It works regardless where you get hit in the arm bar from. So if Dewey's in guard, right? Dewey doesn't suck at arm bar, so he's gonna boom, he's gonna swing up. Okay, I grab my arm, and then hand to the back of the leg. Boom, here, counter. It doesn't matter where the armbar is happening, that defense works very well from a variety of those options. You know, Dewey's here, and he's like, man, I'm gonna hit the armbar from the back. Boom. I grab my bicep, keep my hand out, right here. All you're doing is, I'm extending this hand to create the space to start walking my elbow through the trap. Then at that point, I have a decision to make. Like all white belt jiu-jitsu moves, both hands in the guard, both hands out, make the choice. I'm going to choose both hands out 95% of the time because then at that point I can get away, start creating space, create myself some options. But the basics of this one, if you're looking for, I'm assuming another armbar escape. You can sit in this position, right? You're a big strong guy, but I'm still going to break the arms to stay here long enough. I don't like these defenses because a lot of times it's timing and a little bit of strength that you're going to rely on. Where if I'm here, I get that, even if I can't get my hand underneath, I'll go to here. This is more structural. Like my bones are framed up to where it's going to be hard to just rip my arm out. There's still ways to unpack my arms and do things, but this becomes a lot harder. Because now he's got to start getting my hands out, I can start then doing other things and getting my, it frees the options. And that works gi or no gi. It's a lot easier no gi because there's a little more slip to it. But even in the gi, you can frame, move yourself out, escape your hand. Questions? So have you guys work it from both the guard and from that position. So, step by step. I'm here. I hopefully caught the armbar a little sooner than here. All we're going to do, grab our bicep, hands to the back of the thighs. As soon as we're there, I'm gonna walk my feet towards him, and I like to try to sit up, if possible. Now, a lot of the time that's gonna be harder said than done, or easier said than done. So all I'm gonna do, walk my hands here, get my elbow out. Once I'm here, if I let him pull my arm now, doesn't matter. Like, it's out. You can't armbar me here. Boom, then it's scramble city. Get yourself out of harm's way. Not worrying as much about where you're going as long as it's not back into a submission. So I'm here with Dewey down in the guard. Same thing. That armbar swing drill we do. Boom, I'm here. Grab my bicep. Sneak my hand in. I like to kickstand him up a little bit right here. Stops him from rolling underneath me. Wiggle my arm out. Little motions. Keeping pressure here. Work the pace.
But does it not matter how strong they are? You're going to be able to keep your arm out.
Just watch. I'm here with Josh. Josh, big strong kid, right? Big strong kid. I'm sure he's not an adult or anything. All right, just pull my arm out. I said pull my arm out, Josh.
Put some muscle into it.
Like, yeah, it'll eventually come out. But by God, it's gonna work. like, at that point, it's not about strength, it's structural. So it's kind of, when I'm here, he's got to pull my entire forearm through my entire forearm. It's not easy. Or he's got to get this hand to go this way, which is not a natural motion. Yeah, my bicep's going to be bad, but it's going to give me the time I need to then escape. Because as he pulls like that, because most people are going to do that ego check, right? They're going to, felt it. You got it for 5-6 seconds, you're like, oh, I'm going to pull it. Fuck me. Second that pressure releases, time. And that's the goal of this is defend yourself until you can escape. Like we've talked about before, the difference in between defense and escapes is defense is buy yourself time, escape is get the fuck out of dodge. This is both. I can defend myself from this position and then use it to escape. Make sense? Alrighty, driller out. Try both positions. Try the from sitting on your back from mount and in guard. 1, 2, 3. Still gonna be used. Just assume it's used. Next question. No, fuck you. Alright, anyone else got a question? I'm gonna be a decent human leg.
We show a basic body lock pass.
Body lock passes.
Like so if you fall and he's got his butterfly and say you're on top of how pass.
Here.
Yeah, say you shoot in for your body lock.
Here?
Yes.
Back step, overstep.
I've never done a body lock pass.
So I'm here. What he's asking about is I'm here, guys in butterfly guard, and you realize very quickly that this isn't going to be fun for you. Like when I pull butterfly guard on most of you, right? Like that's not fun for anyone involved. Bad things start to happen. So you realize, hey, I don't want to give him space to start doing shit. So all you do, you dive both hands to the hip, reach underneath, and you lock your hands in, pull your elbows in. All right? This is how people who aren't good at passing butterfly guard try to pass butterfly guard. So boom, I'm here, I walk in. Now, couple different options of how you can pass here. One is going to be a sprawl pass, 2 is an overstep pass. The overstep pass is for those of us who are a little bit more athletically gifted. You are? Congrats. Fuck you. Congrats. So I'm here. I'm always going to look away from the side I'm backstepping. So I'm here. I'm going to look this way. Boom. I'm here. I backstep this leg hard to hit the mat here. As soon as that foot hits, it comes through and around. It's not a complex pass. It's one of those simple but not easy things to hit. So I'm here, Dewey's working. Don't appreciate that. Boom. I get this and I shut his hips down by pulling my elbows in and walking into it. Once we get here, I back step, step through. Once you get here, you then got to abandon the body lock, transition up, start working the side control.
Does your head switch sides once you do that pass?
most of the time your head's going to be getting framed, so it's more just keeping your head in place than it is looking one way or the other. Because once I go here, the second I backstep here, Dewey doesn't suck at jiu-jitsu. He's going to start pushing my head and trying to do stuff. So I'm here, walking my feet through, trying to get past these legs as much as possible. That's the goal of that. That's why I don't like body lock passing. I don't think it's the most effective way to pass body lock.
Okay.
Now, the other option you have, hey, it's their meat saw. I fucking hate it. So I'm here, boom, I drive in and get that body lock. The other way you can pass this is some guys will sprawl and start walking inside and then sit, like baseball slide through pass. I don't love it, but it is available. Those are the two options there that you can have.
I just feel like I get leg locked if I try to enter somebody's butterfly guard.
Yeah, no, that's why you don't enter that way. That's why the second they pull butterfly guard, you go one hand through, weave, get your feet a fucking away. That weave pass that I've taught from half guard and all those different positions, that's how I pass butterfly.
Okay.
Because if I dive in, even good leg lockers are still going to start scooping this knee and start coming into it. Reason when if I'm going to go against a Bobby, one of those guys who's from a leg lock central gym, first thing we got to do is kill the legs and get my legs as far away from them as I can. No touchy. And this is the easiest way to get that way.
Okay.
Still not going to be fun because you still got to drive into them at some point and take side. But it makes getting past their legs a lot.
So if they try to start from half butterfly, then they pretty much give me that weave, aren't they?
That's why I like that weave pass. Very applicable from a lot of different positions, especially in like the modern game where a lot of guys are trying to get to your feet.
Yeah.
Stuff's a lot of that because even if they start opening and doing all that stuff, boom, transition to the other side. So if you want to work that body lock pass, two options. You can back step, walk past, or sprawl, walk past, or if you want, I'll just review that weave pass real quick. I'm here, my one hand comes through, weaves in between his legs and on top of the far side knee. I then drive that hand to the mat. All my weight goes to the top of his knee. And I'm here. Once I get there, walk past, keep his legs closed until I'm inside. Questions on any of those?
So when you leave, how do you prevent or look out for the shin lizard?
Not worried about it. So I'm here. He grabs like his shin or does anything like that.
Right.
Great. Like it's not stopping anything I'm trying to do at that point. It may inconvenience me momentarily. The likelihood of them hitting anything slick from there is going to be low.
On the body lock half sprawl, how do you stop from just pushing your hips back?
Yeah. Great question. Glad you asked it. Now you understand why I don't teach body lock passing. Not saying it's ineffective. I've just found it to be ineffective for me and at large. The only people I've seen be really good at body lock passing are just gorillas. Dive in, boom, we're here. And they're just here at that point. Because what ends up happening is when I sprawl my legs back most of the time, most guys will go to that. They'll just go re-guard or just try to start sitting up. That's why I don't prefer. I will body lock to stop in initial motion and then go to something else. So like if I get in here, me and Dewey are going and I realize, oh shit, this is a little back. Okay, reset. You know, that's what I'm going to use that body lock type position for. Shut his legs down, shut his hips down. Re-square the position, reassess where we're going. That's what I'm going to use that position for. I'm not going to use it to pass. And if I think, oh man, they're really going to be getting underneath me to get to my feet, I'm getting my feet away from them by standing or by weaving. Other questions? Oh, yes, you might.
Every time I weave between legs, I just thought it was making bullshit up. I didn't realize that was a real thing. It is a good thing.
It's one of my best passes.
What, while you're doing the arm weave, what should your other hand kind of be blocking so you don't get like a triangle or something?
Biggest thing is going to be normally bicep. So when I'm here, I get to weave. I'm generally going to be blocking bicep, scooping head. here. I'm using good head position here, blocking here, or scooping here. Gi, I may set a little bit of a grip. No gi, I'm just trying to get to that side control. So it's more just it's an as needed application. Some guys are going to be pushing your head, some guys are going to be digging for underhooks. The top side hand is kind of an as needed application.
Will you do the first one again?
Back step pass. So I'm here, boom. I shut down the motion, right? Hands on the lower back, pull my hips in. I step here, all I do is back step, walk my feet away, start driving my knees in. Other questions? Fill her out. 1, 2, 3. Alright, I'm going to reiterate a rule just so I don't have to yell at everyone. Play to the rule set you're allowed in tournaments. So, if Dewey wants to heel hook me, that's okay. I get heel hooks in tournaments. White belts, do not be angle locking, heel hooking, capsizing each other. Ah! She was. She snitched. She cried and said that you were mean to her and all that. Alright, next question. Who's got one? Other than Josh, apparently.
What if you're a purple belt and a white belt wants to go leg lock?
That's fine.
Okay.
If you want to play to the upper belt's rules,
Please don't crank.
if you want to play to the upper belt's rules, that's fine. Just realize you have been invited.
So as long as the white belt initiates.
Yeah. Like if I start heel hooking you guys, that's rude. You heel hook me, that's less friendly. As long as we're no. So that's always been the rule. I just have to read it. Questions though. Next technique. We're gonna do one more live round.
Can blue belts heel hook white belts in the gi?
No, Creonches aren't allowed to speak, so.
Look, we're not people, but.
Alright, you have a question. I like you to let you go.
So when you get stacked, like say you're going for an armbar and you get stacked, what's the proper way to roll under to finish it?
I love it! For those of you who've seen me fist fight people, this is one of my most fished up. There you go, radio. You figured it out. So boom, I'm here, right? I get up, I get to the armbar. Dewey doesn't suck at jiu-jitsu, starts to stack and defend his arm, right? Couple things you want to try first before rolling through. One is extending to go belly down. So when I'm here, all I'm going to do is extend myself and try to roll face down so that I rip his arm through this way. That's always going to be what I want to happen first, because that's a little bit easier. But let's say you're here, and Dewey just learned a really cool new escape where he grabs his bicep, fucks it directly up after that. There you go. So, but he's not going to finish this yet. He just gets to where he's defending this, right? Like, this is inconvenient. So when I'm here, hand that is outside of the armbar. So you're going to hear me refer to my inside and my outside hand. Outside is this hand, inside is this hand. For the obvious reason of it's inside towards the body, outside towards the elbow. Outside hand is going to keep in that elbow and keep pinched. This is keeping me tight. I'm keeping my knees tight, my feet tight here, because I want to keep everything pulled in. He's already stacking me. Might as well just lean into it, right? Inside hand. Through the legs to the outside of the knee here on this side. And I'll rotate it on the side. All we're going to do, side roll through. Come out. Two things are going to happen. You get to finish from here. Great option, right? The other option is he rolls through. You're in the armbar weave, work, finish from there. So I'm here with Dewey. I get here, I get an armbar, right? He starts to stack, I don't appreciate that. So boom. I get a good, almost elbow deep grip with my outside hand. My inside hand, I've tried to sweep right. You can try all those traditional armbar finishes where I sweep to mount. Let's say that's just not working. Like I'm gonna go here and just can't get them swept, right? Boom, I get this hand out, and I'm gonna put it to the inside of the knee and hip here. And I'm using that as my lever to rotate across my shoulder. And for like how practical is this? My last MMA win. Thank you. Literally that exact transition. Like, tried to break his arm as aggressively as I could on the way over because I did not want to continue fighting that gentleman. I saw him here. I get to the sweep. I'm working. I try that sweep, right? We've all seen the flower sweep where we sweep. It doesn't work. Okay, I try to go belly down. Doesn't work. Transition under here. Follow the arm. You're like, man, how hard is that? You're literally rolling across your shoulder blades in the same way that we use for our side roll. Guess what? You get a hand on a leg to help yourself out. Questions on this? One of the better armbar defenses, especially when they've already locked up their defense. So once again, counter to the counter till someone dies. Questions on it? Walk through it one more time. I can see the confusion on your face right now. Let's go ahead and get some questions out there.
I just need to see it like 200 more times.
Okay. Boom, I get here, right? So we've all seen the basic armbar attacks from here, right? Where we swing, and boom, sweep, take the arm. Boom. Let's say that's not working. So all we're gonna do is here, I use that hip to push myself under. My head's here, I want it on the opposite knee. Now, once I get to this point, I'm ripping his arm to finish. Not with our friends, because we like our friends, and if we break our toys, we don't have anything to play with. But the second in the tournament we get here, I start cranking this, because that'll make him jump. And I will either land on top or continue finishing that off. Alright? Questions on this?
I just wanted to see it in real time without you like stopping.
Oh. Like how smooth the swing through is?
Right.
It's like I get here, right? Dewey gets to his defense. Boom. And you're back. I don't know how long my nuts hurt right now. But yeah, full speed. It happens. You swivel quickly. Hit it! Right? You gotta pivot there. It's a basketball term, right? I understand, b-ball. Sports ball, let's go. Other questions on that, guys? Like I said, using that hand to swivel yourself under and through. 1, 2, 3.